So what are you gonna show me? You're gonna show me a bank deposit register?
Bank deposit register from checks that were entered the day prior to the bank deposit.
So you get one of these how often? You do one a day?
One a day.
Okay, at the end of the day to see all the stuff that got deposited.
I do it the following morning.
Following morning.
Yes.
Okay.
So they have entered on this first page of the bank deposit register are garnishment checks that have come in from employers that have been posted to individual cases for money that's come in on a wage garnishment.
Okay.
The bank deposit register will also include service fees. This particular one does not have any service fees on the bank deposit register, but they are
Okay.
both included. So when I come in the morning, I go into Boss, I run my tape, cash in hand, checks in hand for a total amount. I go into bank deposit preparation and hit OK. And I want to put transactions prior to and including yesterday's date to deposit date 12/19. So I'm going to enter in here 12/18. I select the bank account, which is one account always. We have B of A. And I'll select, say there was $28 that came in cash for the day prior. And in checks, oh, it's not going to let me go to checks because there's nothing in there.
Okay.
So I break out the cash and the checks, and then I will hit continue after I've done that, and it will let me know if I have balanced. So right here, the check dollar value is out of balance by $98. So this is probably when the girls were here yesterday, they were entering service fees. So I could take that $98 and put it in. So might as well just go ahead and do that. So we have $98 in checks for the deposit. I'm going to hit continue. And it's telling me my deposit is in balance. Do I want to print the final register and update the records? Yes. And that's where this bank deposit register will print. So I'm going to hit yes. And it will print me the bank deposit register. I make the deposit into the bank.
And the last page of that document shows the total, and that is your total of cash and checks collected.
Yes.
Okay.
After I'm done with that and I know that I have balanced and we went to the bank, I want to select disbursements for the day. So I go down under disbursements, select disbursements. Here, this allows me to select a check date, which I never change because it's the day I'm doing it. The bank account's already auto-populated, Bank of America. In this section, I am able to select all cases. We'll run all the disbursements for garnishment monies that have come in from employers that have already been posted to the individual accounts. If I want to run city fees only, which are the service fees and the sheriff's office commissions, I select county fee only. So right now, since we do have some money in there for county fees, $98, I would hit continue. However, if I do that, it's going to run forever.
Okay.
So I'm going to exit out of here. So
and would that produce this other report?
It will produce a not the check register. It produces a, I forgot to bring it. What it's going to print for checks. I did not bring a sample of that, but it does produce a document.
It's just showing you a list of
what we're going to disperse out.
Okay.
Preliminary list. So after that runs, it'll tell me, it's ready to go. So that's when I go to this step, John, is print selections. So I'm going to print selections here, and this is the disbursement selection register. That is the next document that prints.
Okay.
Okay. And it shows here, and then it's going to show me everything that's going to print. Sometimes it's many, many pages. After that is done, I'm going to go print my checks now.
Okay.
So, I select a number, which is the next, check in the box. My check date, I have to manually enter. Select the bank account, and I'll hit continue. Right now it's saying there are no checks to print for Bank of America's account. Normally it would tell me start with check number 1234, your ending check number, it will tell me it'll be 1450. So I take all those checks out of the box and I prep them for printing.
Okay.
After the checks are printed and I have all my checks, I print the check register.
Okay.
And it's not going to let me print the check register. However, we do have a sample of the check
I'll pull that
register.
in.
Okay.
And the check register gives you a list of all those checks, and at the bottom of the last page, it gives you a total.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Does
The
that
amount
total
that
match the other total?
we have dispersed out. It will not match your bank deposit register total in as much as
Oh, one's disbursements and one's collections.
right.
Okay.
Because I have to separate the service fees and commissions from the disbursements out to the initiators. Two separate ones.
Okay. That makes
Then,
more sense than
so I print the check register, and then if I'm doing county, I print two registers. I have a print check register and I have a print county check register. And the reason we do two is because when I do my revenue report to the city, I am keeping one check register and I am submitting with my check to the Carson City Treasurer the county check register. And I may end up with several different registers because we don't do city every day. I do not disperse out to city every day, but twice a month. I may end up with maybe 6 county check registers when I disperse the county fees. And then I go to post checks. I'll select post checks and hit OK, and it'll post, and it'll remind me, have you printed your check register? Yes. And then it'll go to finalize the final disbursement batch and post to the database. So I'll hit continue there. And then that's it. I'm done with that. However, there are some rules to this. If we have a check that came in from an employer and it was an overpayment on a garnishment case, we are going to be doing a refund to the debtor, to the defendant. Prior to running my disbursements, I have to get this money out to the debtor first. Otherwise, when I run my disbursement to the initiator, it's going to pull all the money. So this gives me the capability of doing a manual check to an individual. So I go into here under disbursements, enter manual check. Hit there. I'll add a new check number. And I do this prior to disbursements because I don't want it to disperse out. So I have to make sure that money gets to the debtor first. So I'm going into the bank account under the manual check entry. I have a check number, a check date. I'm going to be paying out to the defendant here because they have a refund coming to them. Say they overpaid by $15. And then I do a description here, refund of judgment, overpayment. I may also be sending out refunds to a debtor if we had a release of execution on a wage garnishment file. Those come in from the initiators or by court order that the garnishment is released prior to the expiration date.
Okay.
Then I go into add detail. I'm going to select the case, which is the internal case number for a debtor. It's going to be a disbursement, and I'm doing a refund of judgment here. And I don't remember my amount. I think it was $15. And I hit OK. case number invalid. But I hit OK, and it'll update on the case.
Okay. So is this something that is generally done by only you, or only you and one other person?
Only me and my backup
Your
if
backup.
I'm out of the
Okay.
office. Now, Boss does not produce the actual check like it would on the disbursements. I have to go into a Word document and type a manual check. Even though I have it in my system here, I still have to manually type the check.
Okay.
Once it's in here under the manual check entry and I hit OK, it posts to the defendant's case file refund of judgment and the amount that I refunded. So
Okay.
it's in the system, it just doesn't have the capability to print me a check. Oh, there we go.
Okay.
I also have the capability of voiding a check. Sometimes, in fact, I have one check sitting over there now that got eaten up by the mail. I received it back from the initiator saying, can you please, send us a new check? So this is where I would go to void a check. I would go in to the bank. It's bringing me up all my checks. So say I want to void a check to, say, Check City right here, 24482. I would select that. Are you sure you want to void the check number? And through here, I would hit yes. And it'll come up on the another document, a report, that I voided this check.
Okay.
So I have that capability. And that's pretty much it for the disbursements for money.
Okay.
We also, after I do a refund if I have to do a refund, I want to note it somewhere also. Not only in the, if you go into inquiries under a case transaction on a case number, it's going to show, yes, I refunded that judgment, but I want to put it somewhere in the system that we can go to. We use this a lot under comments, under operations.
Right.
So I'll go into comments, I'll go into the case number. Let's see if I can find one here. I'll go into our internal case number and I will make a note in here, refund of judgment, and the reason why, the date of the check number, and I will save it. And that way
Okay.
we have record of it in another area under comments.
Okay. Is that it?
That's it for the money.